I need to talk about what happened in my aunt's house. I'm not looking for help. It's far too late for that. I just need to type this out, to see the words on a screen and know it was real. After the accident, I was the only one left to handle my aunt's estate. She lived in a narrow, 3-story row house on Shepherd Street in Baltimore. It was the kind of place that felt like it was holding its breath, squeezed tightly between its neighbors, its red brick facade gone sooty and dull. The first thing I noticed when I unlocked the door was the smell. Not decay or dust, but the sterile, floral scent of those cardboard tree air fresheners. Dozens of them hung from doorknobs, cupboard handles, the bedposts. It was a sweet, aggressive smell that didn't mask anything, just sat heavily in the still air. The second thing I noticed was the silence. It wasn't peaceful. It was a thick, padded silence, the kind that follows a heavy snowfall. Every footstep was swallowed by the old, plush carpeting she had everywhere. Even in the kitchen, I found the note on the kitchen counter, written in her looping, elegant script. For my dear Clara, I've left it all to you. Be careful of the quiet. It gets in, and whatever you do, don't let it know you've seen it. It hates to be seen. I remember frowning, dismissing it as the ramblings of an old woman who'd lived alone too long. I was wrong. I started cleaning out the upstairs, packing her clothes into cardboard boxes. The silence was so absolute that the rustle of fabric was deafening. I was in her bedroom, which faced the back alley, when I felt it. A sudden, specific sensation of being observed. Not from the door, but from the window. I looked up. In the window of the row house directly behind ours, maybe 50 feet away, a figure was standing. The room behind it was dark, so it was just a silhouette. It was tall and impossibly thin, with a long neck and a small, oval head. It was perfectly, utterly still. A shiver went down my spine. It was probably just a neighbor, I told myself. Maybe a mannequin. I forced myself to look away, to continue folding a sweater. But the feeling of being watched didn't fade. It intensified. I glanced back. It was still there, but its head was now tilted at a slight, unnatural angle. My blood went cold. I took a step back from the window, my heart starting to drum a frantic rhythm against my ribs. I decided to close the blinds. As my fingers touched the cord, I saw it move. It didn't walk. It didn't shift its weight. One moment, it was in the window across the alley, and the next, it was in the window of the house next to that one. An instantaneous, seamless jump. Its tilted head was still facing me. I yanked the blind shut, my breath catching in my throat. This was insane. A trick of the light, my grief, something. I stumbled out of the bedroom and into the hallway, which was lined with framed family photos. I stopped, leaning against the wall to steady myself. In the reflection of the glass covering a picture of my aunt and me at the beach, I saw it. It was in the hallway behind me, standing just outside the bedroom door I'd just closed. I spun around. The hallway was empty. The plush carpet showed no footprints. The air was still and sweet, with the cloying scent of artificial flowers. That's when I understood the silence. It wasn't just the absence of sound, it was a medium for it. A substance it could move through without disturbance. I spent the rest of the day in a state of controlled terror, my skin crawling. I never saw it directly, only ever in reflections. In the dark screen of the turned-off TV, in the glass front of the microwave, in the sheen of a polished spoon. Always in the periphery of my vision, always that same tall, thin silhouette with the tilted head. It never made a sound. No taps, no scratches. Its movement was a sudden, silent repositioning in the corner of my eye. The note made sense now. It hates to be seen. I was seeing it, and in doing so, I was provoking it. As dusk began to bleed into the room, I knew I had to get out. I couldn't spend the night there. I grabbed my car keys and headed for the front door. My hand was on the deadbolt when I saw its reflection in the brass doorknob. It was standing at the far end of the entrance hall, behind me, and it was closer, much closer. I froze, my hand trembling. I couldn't turn around. I knew if I looked at it directly, it would be the end of me. The silent standoff felt like it lasted an hour. The sweet smell of the air fresheners was suffocating. Then, in the reflective surface of the knob, I saw its arm move. It wasn't an arm, not really. It was a long, slender shadow. It uncurled slowly, and a single, needle-like finger extended, pointing not at me, but at the key in my hand. The message was clear. I wasn't to leave. The house was mine now, and so was its resident. I don't know how long I stood there. I finally broke, yanking the door open and sprinting to my car, not daring to look back. I left everything behind. My purse, my phone charger, my sanity. I live in a different city now, in an open-plan apartment with huge windows and noisy neighbors. I never stay in silence. I always have music playing, or a TV on, or a fan whirring. But sometimes, when I'm in a public bathroom and I catch a movement in the mirror, or when I see a tall, dark shadow between two buildings at dusk, my heart stops, and I know, with a cold certainty, that it's still with me. It just prefers to travel in the quiet moments. It's learning to find me in smaller and smaller silences, the space between two heartbeats, the pause at the end of an exhale. It's just waiting for me to be still enough to see it again,